Simpson. And Japan have gone absent without leave. This is Whitmore. Hall and Gale both available. It's still Whitmore. It is the Reggae Boys who take the lead.
BallChat. Greetings and welcome to an action-packed episode of BallChat Weekly Roundup Show. I am one of the hosts, Junior, but I have the lovely, come on, the Premier League leading, come on. What that, Goldbridge? Dirty Goldbridge, come off of my life. Anyway, we have the great, come on, the lovely, come on, the Chelsea big side, come on. Come on, what's up, Mova? What's up?
Hey, man, I tell you, listen, remember last week we said we were going to have a conversation? I can't wait.
Well, Max said he would turn up, and Max secretly is a West Ham fan, and I haven't heard from Max since after the game, but we'll talk about that. Also online, Benton, who was not supposed to be on the show today, but he said he's going to forward and give his 2 cents. So Benton, what's up?
I don't see my name on the video.
You're not going to see your name. Don't worry yourself.
I mean, what's going on here? I need equal representation.
And what you want tackle line?
Family.
What you want tackle 8.5?
Hi, yo, I thought you asked me what's going on. Hey, how are you all doing? Hi to the American audience. Hello, how are you? Looking forward to a wonderful discussion discussing Gio Reyna, Chris Richards, and the American players that are so excellent and going to make USA great in 2026. Onward and upward to the Team USA. Over.
All right. Come on. All right. So let's kick off the show. And normally we start with, our show, we talk about world football. We're going to omit what Benton just said. I don't know who he's pandering to. I don't know. Maybe Benton and look a visa. I don't know. But we will see what happens later on in life. So if BallChat is not on next week, you know why. Junior got us kicked off. Anyway, so world football talk. We talk about the top news in world football. I will always start off highlighting ballers and bugs, highlighting our ballers of the week, bugs of the week. But normally we start with English Premier League. But this week, come on, and Benton, we have to start with Bundesliga. Come on, as a mother, as a parent of a great footballer, because your son, big up Mike. Mike is a baller, and we have seen Mike progress, and we support him to the max. So as a parent, come on, and we see, and for those who don't know what happened with Joe Bellingham this weekend in the Bundesliga, let's start there.
As a parent, I understand if we're talking about academy player, right? If your kid is an academy player, who, a baby, and you think can't really talk for themselves, it's understandable. It's not right, but it's understandable as a parent. But as a grown man who has played professional football, right? He helped his team to get promoted to the Premier League, but he chose to go to Borussia Dortmund. How on earth you are okay with your father to come and talk to the sporting director to ask him why he was subbed off and giving his 2 cents? But I blame Borussia Dortmund too, because if you did not allow that man to feel as if he could have done that, he wouldn't have done it. So Borussia Dortmund needs to get called out for that too, because I think they pandered to the Bellinghams, right? Pandered to them. So he thought it was okay for him to come and ask why his son got subbed off. It's madness. So I am glad that the club took a stand. The coach was like, this won't happen again. Parents, family members are banned from the non-football areas of the stadium.
Benton, as a parent yourself as well, and of 2 great young men who are also athletes, can you relate to the Bellinghams in this situation, or do you support the club stance?
Well, yeah, beg me to relate to Bellingham. based on how the question is constructed. But me, I give you my position. And my position is against common position. Because clearly, life is not fair. We see what going on in the world. Those who have power flex their power, and the Bellingham has power over Borussia Dortmund. So Dortmund is not no big side. Clearly, they made some agreement to get Job on this club, and this interaction, whatever the behind the doors agreement, gave this family, as Kamon mentioned, the power and the father the authority for walk up in that dressing room. Yo, the contract, you might be hearing that Job might be looking for a new club January, because this father probably won't have access to about bandman from club. Come on, the club. Yo, so clearly I sympathize with the Bellingham for having Dortmund.
But he wasn't banned from the club. He was banned from areas of the stadium, which is fair, Benton. He's an adult. I mean, like at some point, because even the stories that you hear, even as a mom, I am hands off. I am so sorry. I think the way you grow your kids to be independent is different by everybody's standards. Girls, we tend to raise girls different from we raise boys. These two young men, they need to figure out how to navigate these things without their parents. Remember the story when homeboy leave him passport or homegirl have to run to give him passport because he left it? You have to allow your son to navigate. It's a 5-year contract. It's a 5-year contract. This is we said all right, because of Borussia Dortmund's performance over the seasons. We jokingly say it's a big club, but it's a big club in Germany, and you chose to go there because your brother was there. So you want to go there and do your own thing. You don't even have Bellingham in the back of his shirt. So I think he wants to forge his own way, right? He could have stayed in the Premier League with his team, but he chose to go here. If the coach is saying that you are not doing what you're supposed to be doing on the pitch, and as the coach, I reserve the right to pull you off the field. Why is your parent coming to talk to the sporting director to say the coach don't know what he's doing? And I'm so glad that the article talked about the father as a non-league player and highlighted how many games the coach actually play. It's foolishness, Benton. You can't have foolishness there. Sorry.
So big up to Fabi Frano, big up BM. Fabi Frano saying that why Jude's name is in the headlines, which is a play on Daily Mail, going for the biggest name for likes and views, and Bellingham's father Mark, which Fabi asked a question: isn't the father the agent, and does that play a role in the reaction that occurred? Because this is not the first time we've heard agents not liking the way the player was treated. I think this is the first time I have heard of an agent, forget about the father, of an agent bashing or going after the team at halftime. This is the first time we've heard it in other sports, but I'm racking my brain trying to see if it had happened before.
Maybe not halftime, and maybe because Bellingham and Borussia club, as we said, Bellingham is a big enough name. Because of his brother, right? Let us just say it. But it's the same thing Butler did when he was there. That is why the relationship broke down. The same thing he did in Belgium and the same thing he did in Germany. And that is why the relationship kind of broke down. We've seen agents do this time and time again. And I think what Borussia is saying is, okay, you're not Messi. You're not a big time player right now. You're a player we got from potential, 5-year contract. It's how many games in the season this? So what if it was a tactical change? Like, I just don't get it. We cannot, me not even say we can't allow it, because if I was the coach, next game, him don't play.
So let's put a bow on this as we're talking about Joe Bellingham, and his father and parents, and me in my traditional junior way could draw some parallels and really dig deep in this, because it gives me another perspective when I say Jude sit down with his mother and his mother look on him girlfriend, and there's so much different angles I can take with this, but I'm going to leave it alone. Let's put a bow on this. Gio Reyna, Claudio Reyna's son, was also at Dortmund at one point as well. And we see how Gio Reyna and the Reyna family reacted to, for our Claudio and his wife react with the Team USA team. Do we see Joe Bellingham taking part in Dortmund for the rest of the season? Do you think this fractures the relationship? Do you think they can come back? Come on, real quick. Can this be fixed, or Job is going to be on another team soon?
No, man, this can be fixed. I don't think that they will cut Joe because of his father. I think his father's going to be pulled into a meeting, and then he's going to apologize and say, I'm not going to do it again. And it's all good. As I keep saying, it's a 5-year contract. He's not on loan. It's their player. And the fact that they came out and they said this means that they're serious. So I think, Job wants to play for Borussia Dortmund, and I don't think he's going to pack up his little jing bang and leave if his father say, come, we got to leave. Because it's a good fit for him, right? So it's a good fit, and there's so many games, 38 games in a season, or 37 games in a season over in Bundesliga. This is game one. Like, what are we doing? So I think the relationship can be repaired, apologize, and say, I'm not going to do it again, and keep it moving.
Benton?
Yeah, I think generally this is a bad approach by the Bellingham, Job's dad. But I will say 2 subs were made at halftime. Fufu Man, Adeyemi, and Bellingham were hooked at halftime. Which I have to wonder what is going on with Kovac coaching decisions over at this team. Game 1, and you take off 2 players at halftime and them not injured. That does not give a pass to the dad, to Mark, for going into to try to attack the decision making. But at the same time, I have some other questions around this. But bug side this, brother. We can talk about real teams, yeah, brother.
So then let's transition into the game on the field.
One second.
Yeah.
You asked us for our opinion. What is, as a basketball coach, put this in a basketball frame. How would you react? What would you do? Can the relationship be fixed? As a coach, Junior, you answer.
Oh, hopefully my parents not watching, because I don't like to curse when my parents are watching. I kick him like body and run him away. And I have done it before. And you look at my face, I'm dead serious. And all the teams that I've coached, and I've coached basketball, it's youth basketball, but the parents, them are this is nothing compared to what the parents are. Came to me at the start of the season and wanted to say, I'm sorry if the connection dropped, but the parent came to me at the start of the season and wanted to say that I should tell them how I'm going to run the offense. And then I called a parent meeting right after that to everybody, and I said, look, this is my team. I run it how I want to run it. If you don't like it, please leave now and I can fit your team. And by mid-season, this man backed me up after a game. We won the game. His son, to him, wasn't playing enough. This man backed me up after the game and wanted to fight me. I'm looking at him and I said, seriously, why would you risk not going home? You're not winning this fight. Why would you risk not going home to your family right now over a kid basketball game? So I understand the perspective for the parent, but I also understand the perspective of the coach. And at some point, you have to draw the line. And parents be parents, coaches be coaches. And parents have to trust coaches. If you don't trust the coach, we can mutually agree and you take with yourself and go on with your business. But you are not going to come into my house and tell me how to run my house. I don't do that to you. So when you entrust your son to me, it is my rules, my house. If you don't like it, you pack up yourself and go on. No hard feelings. And I wouldn't care who it is. So if it was me in this situation, Job don't play another game. He doesn't play another game at Dortmund if that was me. But let's move on to the games on the field because Benton talk about how two substitutions were made at halftime and blah blah blah. Dortmund was up 3-1. The game ended 3-3. Dortmund lost basically lost the second half and the game ended 3-3. In that game, Dortmund versus St. Pauli 3-3. But Bayern defeated RB Leipzig 6-0. And let's start off with the Bundesliga. Come on. Can anybody stop Bayern this year in Germany?
Leipzig is always a competitor. Leverkusen, I don't know if Leverkusen can, with your boy, can do anything. Them lose them first game of the season. But for now, Leipzig look hot, but it's a long season. A very Bayern look at me. It's a long season, so we shall see. I think one of the greatest thing is that Harry Kane is actually comfortable, finding his form, rounding up, and that's a dangerous thing, So I think Bayern really looks good, but it's a long season. It's early, or was it?
Benton, what say you?
Yeah, I mean, it's Bayern Munich's league. I mean, it's a for them league. There's nobody else that will take it. I mean, um, I think what FC Cologne had some historic achievement not done by a promoted club in 34 years over the weekend. But it's Bayern Munich league. I mean, your coach, Ten Hag. We'll see how he goes about it. Luis Diaz and this Bayern Munich team, though. Luis Diaz is excellent. He's playing well. He seems like he's settled in quite quickly, which is probably probably an improvement, over who they had on that left side. So it's Bayern Munich league. This league is just a formality. I think Bayern Munich is just essentially getting themselves ready for the real test in Champions League.
Fabi Father said, I won't judge Bayern in this league this year. They will win it. They win the league this year. Let's judge them in the Champions League. If I was Leverkusen, I would go and get the Zerbi. I would get the Zerbi by January, for real. Leverkusen lost their home opener to Hoffenheim 2-1. I wouldn't say enough about my ex-coach, since to keep bringing it up like it's my decision. Ten Hag lost his home opener. Is this a sign of things to come? Is this growing pains? Is this come on? Germany, German fans. I think I would even say Leverkusen fans. Will they be patient?
Yeah, man. I mean, they will. It's the first game of the season. Ask me this question after the fifth game, and them no win nothing. Just ask me that question. But for now, I mean, it's not crazy. If you watch the game, it wasn't a bad game. The players weren't poor. It was just not their day. And, unless we're going to call them the Invincibles, they're going to lose a game or two. But it's early time. So I think the fans will give him some grace.
And I think the stat that I wanted to highlight for the promoted teams, because somebody have to talk about the bug sides. FC Cologne and the newly promoted teams, FC Cologne and Hamburg, for the first time in 34 years, newly promoted teams didn't concede a goal on match day one. So that's history. We're celebrating 34 years achievement.
That's a change because FC Cologne I get bug up.
But that is such a Mullines comment from Benton. That's such a real comment from Benton. And
Hey, well, get it right. Still in the Jamaican Premier League, Malines, unlike Vier Phoenix United. All right, get it right.
well, and we soon talk about. We have a lot of Yawd Ballas to talk about, and we'll soon talk about the Phoenix that's rising again. Anything any other takeaway from the Bundesliga as you talk about FC Cologne defeating men's 1-0? Any other takeaway from the Bundesliga this week?
I mean, no, it was pretty standard apart from the loss, Leverkusen and Dortmund giving up that lead, but it was pretty much standard. All the teams that you expect to do well, relatively okay. As I said, it's just the first game of the season. People just coming back, finding their legs. Players are gelling. So, nothing spectacular in the Bundesliga.
But I wanted to ask a question though, not particular pertaining to a team, but a player. I saw, come on, you posted that Victor Boniface transferred to Milan. Is what, he failed the medical?
He failed. That's what they're saying. He failed his medical. They're concerned about his ACL injuries. And this does sound like an excuse. They're concerned about the ACL injuries he suffered 2019, 2020.
What? He's been playing football. What?
Correct.
What?
Correct. So I've seen it. I've seen where they have a change of heart because they took a minute. He did his medical and they took a minute to come out and say this. Just come out and say that you're not changing your mind, the direction change, something. But you're going to say that you're concerned about his ACL injuries from way back when. Listen to me, that's going okay, yeah, don't bother with ACL.
The agent needs to get a beating. Victor Boniface and the agent. The player wants, he needs another club. Leverkusen done.
There is so many clubs that can use him. So if Syria not going to work for him, I'm not even going to say Manu, because Manu looks stacked. Because even today in them game versus Fulham, they looked extremely stacked. They don't need anybody. They don't need a 6. They don't need a 8. They're okay. Mason Mount and them star, Bruno them star. So not Manu. But a Newcastle can use him. A West Ham can use him. Fulham can use him. Aston Villa can use him. So if I was his agent from yesterday when him doing medical and them a pussyfoot round, I would have gone on the phone and call. There's a team out there that need him because AC Milan wasn't paying life-shattering money. It wasn't a £90 million transfer that was going to happen for Boniface. So clubs out there that we have 8 days. 8 days. So I would just move and go somewhere else, both in injuries from 2019. And we out here see man run on one leg at Unabaim. AC Milan lose the first. Nobody want to go there either. You could have called me back, I wouldn't go. So I'm a shame.
So let's switch over to the Serie A then real quick. The Serie A scores up at this point. Big up Fabio Fana. Fabio Fana said Boniface a failed transfer to Milan. Manu seems like they agreed a fee to sell Bruno. It's up to him now if he wants to leave. Come on, talked about Milan losing to Cremonese. I pronounce the name, come on. You're Italian now for the team,
No. We can't say bonjour. No. I don't know.
But Milan lost to Benta. You know that team at Cremonese? I don't even know what this team where they come from.
Whatever goes.
Cremonese defeated Milan, AC Milan 2-1. Napoli. Let's real quick. Napoli defeated Sassuolo 2-0. Lecce and Genoa draw 0-0. Roma defeated Bologna 1-0. Cagliari and Fiorentina drew 1-1. Benton's Como defeated Lazio 2-0. Atalanta draw with Pisa 1-1. And Juventus at the time was leading Parma 1-0.
Major take. I even tell you who scored for Napoli.
We know, but you're not going to get Pep going crazy. So let's start with Napoli. Come on, it's only week 1, still early. Is Napoli the standard bearer in Syria?
Yes, last season too, this season too. They were running riot. They were playing. Like we talked today and said, it's Kevin's level. When a player is in his element, he shines. Preseason he's been doing well. Your boy Scott is continuing to do well from last season. So I think Napoli will take it again this year. And it was really good football. I enjoyed watching the game.
Benton?
Yeah, man. The only thing that probably will stop Napoli is Coach Antonio Conte losing him head. They added a ball. I saw that what's his name? My old boy over Man City there.
Kevin De
From
Bruyne
from Dortmund.
from Dortmund.
The German youth from
Oh,
Dortmund.
Gundogan.
Gundogan is being offered to Inter Milan, and I think if Inter Milan can get Gundogan that midfield, that will help. But who knows? It's Napoli's league to win, but um, I'm curious to see if Como makes another if Como continues to improve, just assess Fabregas' growth. That's an interesting one for me in the Scudetto.
And 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 seeing that Como is still early days, Como defeated Lazio 2-0. We must see that as a great achievement. Come on, do you see Cess finishing the season at Como and coaching at Como next year? Two-part question.
If he does really really well, because I think he will move to a bigger team, because every coach, I mean, they have this club that they dream of coaching, this one, and Coma is not a big club, but for him to go and achieve this much with them, it says a lot about his coaching style. And I know a big club, I mean, if a Bayern calling him, he will go. If a Chelsea call, well, whatever. If a Chelsea call him, if a Man U, I mean, he will go. But it all comes down to how he performs and the team performs. And again, Victor would do well at Como. I mean, like he could use a Victor, because who is the guy that they're not using? What your boy name again? Dele Alli.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so he says there's no future for Dele Alli at the club. I mean, like, so I think Como may not, win the title or even got, play Champions League, but they'll do well.
What say you, Benton?
Yeah, it says I think that Football Club Barcelona would be a nice landing spot, because ultimately, and might be the last year for Hans Flick. If he doesn't win Champions League, then dog them supper. This high line and this exposed. We'll get to La Liga in a few minutes. But if Cesc continues to grow, and if he qualifies for Europa League with Como, that means he's ready for a big league. And then Barcelona should make a move and get him in, because he's Barca bred, Barca grown, and so, and get rid of the German. That is something that I would advocate. Get rid of Hans Flick, not the German, but that's someone I would get rid of. If I kick and run it down ball over Barcelona, I'm tired of it.
I was trying to like run the show in a way that it flows when we talk about the teams, and I was going to go into England because it would have been an easy transition to say Nottingham Forest might be looking for a coach soon, and would Cess be a viable option. Arsenal would have been looking for a coach, but based on the way they started, they seem like they're world beaters. But you bring up La Liga and you bring up Barca and the way we're so good at, so come on, don't worry. Come on, we're so talking about your side. Come, we know you're hot for your side. Look, Benton, you want to come on in a jersey. A jersey that you have on. I look.
No, my jersey. My jersey gone dry clean.
But look, oh, Jesus. My gosh. I see Mariska big in a cupboard background, she can't wait to talk about like in that side, it's all right.
But blue, it's my blue.
The jersey gathered cobweb and dust in a draft the last 5 years. Because last year going to draft early. I get up and now it has straight out a dry clean. It's good to have the blue jersey back.
But you brought up Barcelona. I said to myself, let's switch to La Liga. And let's start with Barcelona. You guys are the Barcelona fans. I would just sit back and listen to you guys fight over where the problem is. Because I know Cabo is going to say it's early days and they try to help Rashford heal, but Rashford needs some help, and Benton going to get rid of the German. Let me hear this.
What do you mean by we are the Barcelona fans? Benton is boaty. What are you talking about? I was a little bit concerned yesterday because we were down 2-0 and it's early days and we need for help Rashford heal, but he was young, right? And it shows you that we need goals. Rashford is a goal scorer, and the coach yanked him. I don't know what that does for his confidence, but it shows that the coach has no confidence in him. And it was telling that after he was substituted, the team started playing better, more fire. I don't know if somebody get up the box them halftime. And Barcelona came back and they won 3-2. I don't see where we have any weaknesses right now. Early days still. Because when we need goals, we'll find the goals from everywhere. When it comes to defense, we're good with defense. Goalkeeper issues, we might need to tweak that a little bit. But I don't see where we are leaking anything or we have to panic. Maybe talk about panic buy because we can't register nobody new. But I don't see where Barcelona is hurting right now for positions. We're starting 11 is strong and our bench is also strong. So I think that this season we are going to be competitive.
So Mental, come on is saying the glass is three-quarter full. Um, is come on seeing the top of the water wrong, or is the liquid that you're drinking out of, is it a little brown with a little alcohol in there, or what? Benton.
Yeah, once a brother I live from Man United website. The man, yo, Junior live at Manchester United yard. Every minute. Yo, people, it will sell out BallChat to Man United. You know?
What? Hey, country road, take me home to the place I belong. Go ahead, Benton.
Bugs of the week to Levante. You asked me about Barca and La Liga and Levante and the game yesterday. You can't lead in the game 2-0 and then collapse the way you did. Also, I'm just gonna go ahead and just put this out there. And before I do this, I want to get some clarifications from Come. Did Hansel Flick yesterday started with Marcus Rashford on the left and Rafinha down the middle? Was that correct? And then he
Yes,
decided to change at halftime.
yes.
Okay.
But
We're gonna
Rashford.
wait to Hansel Flick because I want to make sure.
Yeah, but he needs to. But the thing is, the problem is this, when you have an embarrassment of riches, how do you spread it? That is his issue. Like, where do you put these players? So to me, he's making up rules. But Rashford isn't bad on the wing. He's not bad under us. I mean, like I don't know.
Barcelona Deco was Rafinha agent, so this is why Rafinha must play. Is he still Rafinha's agent? Because he orchestrated that move to Barcelona as Rafinha's agent. So wait, so what really? Your Barcelona a party shop. Tired of looking man, the man is scamming over the side, brother. But other than that, let me calm down. I need to get out of here. But bug of the week to Levante.
Yeah, because it looked like you just Benton, you carry this vibe into the place, and it looked like them just a beat me right now. But Rashford and Barcelona. And even Real Madrid, because Real Madrid, they just won their game 3-0. They are the two teams, I think, in La Liga. I don't want to say La Liga is a two-horse race, but it is a two-horse race. These are the teams that go and determine how the season run. And I think there are a lot of questions for both teams. Come on, if you looking at it, would you say that Barcelona is ahead in terms of their project right now, or is Real Madrid and Xavi Alonso catching up to Barcelona? Is Hansi Flick playing money football? What is your take on the La Liga so far, or is it just too early to call?
I mean, it's still too early to call. Atletico Madrid is still trying to find their first win of the season, and usually it's the three-horse race. I watched the Barcelona game, and it was good in the fact that they could eke out a win after being down 2 goals, right? And the other team was Levante was really pressuring. It could have been 3 or 4 goals for Levante. But then I watched Real Madrid game, even though the first goal was not supposed to be given. But when Vinny came on, because Vinny didn't start. Vinny came off the bench. When Vinicius Junior, and I think an angry Vinicius Junior is a good footballer when he's angry or have this chip on his shoulder or whatever. But he came on and the game completely turned in his favor. He had he had an assist and a goal. And Mbappe had 2 goals, and I don't think he had an assist. He had an assist? No, I don't remember if he had an assist. But they were playing off each other, and I am concerned with that much speed and technical ability that my side Barcelona cannot match up with them. So I think for me, Real Madrid is in a better position this season than Barcelona.
What says you, Benton? Because Cabon referenced Vinny being angry, and I think and there is a question there, but I'm gonna table that question until next week, or I'm gonna table it till after the international break, and I'll give you the reason why. Vinny being angry is a very strong statement, which is a big statement, a broad statement. The very next obvious question will be angry at who? Is he angry at Rodrigo? Is he angry at the coach? Is he angry at the team? I think more will come out of that. But let's talk about what Cameron just said, Benton, and talking about how this Real Madrid project, and it seems to me, and I might be paraphrasing what you just said, Cameron, but it seems to me like Xavi is trying to find a way to put his muscle within the team and kind of straighten up the egos a little bit, which is why Rodrigo never played last week. Rodrigo started this week. Why Vinny didn't start this week, but ironically, Rodrigo played down on Vinny's left wing. So Benton, how do you feel about that project? And then talking about your team Barcelona and what Hansi Flick is doing, and you already referenced that Hansi Flick will get run with. Talk about those 2 projects right now.
Yeah, so I mean, quickly on the Real Madrid thing, the bottom line is that, I agree with Camon. Vinny came on and was impactful. Bug of the week to Rodrigo, and this is totality of the off season up till this start of the season. Here's a player that has been very vocal that he wants to play the left wing. He prefers to play the left wing. He played the left wing today against newly promoted Real Oviedo, and he was toothless. Toothless. If you want to play a left wing, show us that you are actually impactful against the left wing. And there was something that happened. I don't know if Cameron noticed this. When Vinicius Junior subbed on, Kylian Mbappe came almost to the midfield where Vinny was and give him a tap in his hand and say, yo, be glad you reach. It's like he said to him, me glad you reach, so now we can connect. And subsequently what happened is that the link-up play flowed a lot better. Rodrigo, brother, your days might be numbered because this is Royal Whites. You might be looking for another side.
But the irony to that is Moreno, or whatever his name was, the analyst of the game, talked about how Vinny and Mbappe at times look like 2 individuals that just give each other time to run. And so it's ironic how you pull that out of what you saw, and Jaime Moreno talk about how Vinny and Mbappe having chemistry issues. So I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
So I don't fully disagree with. Sorry, come on. I don't fully disagree with what Jaime Ali Moreno is saying. They still need to connect more because Mbappe does drift out a lot to the left. But what I saw is that there are 2 players who are more in sync relative to the other player, Rodrigo, who wants to be on that left wing. And I think from just what you have available now as Real Madrid, you have to utilize the players that are more impactful. And Rodrigo did not make the impact. It just did not. And the other brother over the other side, all Real Madrid fans and all Real Madrid media who are proclaim Master Antonio as Lamine Yamal of Real Madrid, and then he forgot chuck off. Bugs of the week. This brother is not ready. He is not ready. And because of that, he's doing too much with the football. Yield the ball and give the ball to the real players.
I don't even know why you brought it up. But wait, come on, you want to put a bow on it?
So I heard that comment about them looking like two individual players, but if you look at the second goal, it was Messi, Suarez-esque, where they knew where each other was. It was a no-look pass from Vinny when he got on in the 18, and he knew exactly where Mbappe was for him to score the goal. And so the link-up play between the two, because I don't know if them talk about it. Like if in a group chat them alone and say, listen, we know you're not start. When you come out, we're going to murder it or something. But they did not look like in two individual players today. When he came on, they looked like they were in sync. They knew where they wanted to be, where they're going to go, and it produced two goals.
Yeah, yeah. So let's switch over, and there'll be more. I think there'll be a lot more to come out of the La Liga. Well, like we said, it's early days, but let's switch over to where Cameroon wants to be at this present time, the big bad EPL. First of all, I must apologize to every Chelsea fan out there, every Chelsea fan. I stupidly hinted towards West Ham giving them some trouble. I felt good after the first 10 minutes, and then after that, it went to the toilet. Come on. Chelsea defeated West Ham 5-1. On the heels of what happened in week one, and looking at what happened in week two, is it still early days, or are you ready to take out your minted press jersey and hold it up like Messi?
It's still early. Our team them come for shame with sometime, them come for embarrass us. But I just knew that once the team clicked, it would be a better ball game for us. But my issue is this: when we had a good enough team that could give us problems, we weren't ruthless. We were toothless. It's only West Ham. Paqueta's goal was sublime, was a very good goal. But don't let us get it twisted. It's only West Ham. West Ham is not a good team. It's a shell of a team. But I must say this: we were losing, and then we turned up the thing. If we had lost, I would still say I'm disappointed because it's only West Ham. When Chelsea can compete against a City, can compete against a Spurs, compete against a Liverpool, let me throw Man U in because I'm being generous. If Chelsea can compete against those teams and play good football, not boring football, if you even lose 1-0, but good football, then we can have this conversation. Then I will hold up my jersey like Messi. But it's early days still, and the first game was disappointing. And no, we look good versus West Ham, but it's only West Ham. My other issue is this: we played better, free-flowing football without Cole Palmer. That is a problem because when Cole Palmer gets back fit, coach is going to put him back into the team. And what does that say?
So Benton, Cameroon has their alarm bells going off with the Cole Palmer thing. What's your takeaway from the Chelsea game?
Ball of the week. Apparently, we're not sending on a ball and bugs. Come on, a ball of the week to Chelsea, man. We have to big them up. João Pedro. Ball of the week. Big up yourself, you. It seems like a significant improvement over who they had in that position. João Pedro, big up yourself. Ball of the week. I like Chelsea. Not only the fact that the way they came back, because that Lucas Paqueta goal was a ratted goal. It was a stunner. But Chelsea not only said, yo, I want to go out with this bug side. Who do they think they are? And really kind of just, with a level of authority, separate themselves. And that was what was impressive to me. The fact that how they separated from this bug side. Bug of the week to West Ham. They need to fire Graham Potter, get rid of all those players, and just start anew because it will get worse. Excellent. Yo, me come on and talk about Man City. Man City lost at Saka. Pep still a drink water from Saturday every time Tottenham score a goal. So I think Chelsea is fine. This team, remember last year, we discussed this on the watch along. This team started out well last year until Maresca said we're not title contenders. When you're young and this youth, Estavio, Jaja, ball of the week, Estavio. Big up yourself. You come like me, I'm going to get a Chelsea jersey and sort them up.
There it is. That's what I've been waiting on. It is over. It's done.
Exactly, the bench full. And don't forget that we had 5 different goal scorers.
Lord of
5
mercy.
different goal scorers. So without a Nicholas Jackson, we're not starving for goals.
So,
Fancy. I have to leave, but big up everyone. I have to take for myself, but have a great one and big up. Congrats.
later than that.
All right, bless up, family.
Right. So come on, let's stick to teams in London as Benton exit stage left. I'm gonna fix up the video there here, but London is running Premier League this year, and we talk about the big sides, and Chelsea definitely laid out a marker. We know Liverpool is Liverpool, and Liverpool not going to go anywhere. But Arsenal, as obnoxious as their fans can be, we have to give them ratings. Come on. I said Chelsea just to make you and Michelle, big up Michelle, just to make her feel good. So Chelsea are the big side, but Arsenal is the best team in England.
Yes, and getting the new player from Palace is the problem with this is now, can Arsenal keep the players healthy? That has always been their issue. Luckily, the Saka injury is not as serious as they thought it was. Kai Havertz is still injured. But
Luckily.
it was yeah. He was so miserable on the bench because he's like, them can't win without me, because if that happened, it's a hard for him to get back into the squad. But Arsenal, remember we talk about heavy metal football? Arsenal played good football, and it's just for the coach to not, be fool and change up things, and injuries. I think injuries will beat Arsenal this season if they're injury free or keep it at a minimum. They're title contenders.
Mr. Stewart, big up Mr. Stewart. Mr. Stewart said London is running Premier League. Really? I know that's a Liverpool fan. I can tell that's a Liverpool fan. Well, with Liverpool will have their opportunity to answer Arsenal tomorrow when they play Newcastle. But speaking about the surprise, and I apologize to the Chelsea fans, I must apologize to the other London team in Tottenham, because I was telling everybody coming up to the watch along yesterday, why are we even doing a watch along for Tottenham versus Man City? Man City only have 2 games to play against Liverpool, and that's it. Everybody else are get dead. Come on. Are you surprised with what Tottenham did to Man City? I have to big up Fabi, because Fabi did call it early and say, I don't think this is as much of a walkover for City as I drew that making it seem to be. And I was wrong.
Oh, I was wrong to mash up all of my parlay from early. So I was absolutely wrong. But you see, we never expect Man City to come back from bring over last season foolishness to this year. We never expect it, because Tottenham, they beat them 4-0. Right? And we were like, okay, we must learn, and I must have like a shame and like a pride for not make this happen again. But I tell people all the time, if you get a serious and focused Richarlison, you get a good player. If he's focused and serious and on his game, he can make any team not a world beater, but a contender. Anything when named Trafford, kind of, shaky. Pep have to fix up the goalkeeper issues. The goalkeeper was the weakest link on the field. I am sorry. But that is Pep. He always like to experiment, like Foden, Doku, put on the bench. You don't, like, what are you doing? So it was just interesting to see Tottenham really take. I never expected equal to 1-0, yes, but I never expect Tottenham to really beat Man City 2-0. And I expect Pep to look in himself and figure it out and get it together.
And and if Benton was here, Benton would talk about Oscar Bob, because Oscar Bob looked last at sea. Oscar Bob, who play right back for Arm City again? Oscar Bob,
Him
right?
say, man,
Yeah.
and I never understood the hype behind the young man we have two first name. I just never understood the hype. Ake, I don't know what is happening in Ake, and I don't know if it is mental. I just not understand. Listen, City would have been better off to go back for Kyle Walker, because I see Kyle Walker run up and down like he mad. We always talk about Manchester City's defense, and guess what happened? They have not fixed it. They're going to solely rely on Haaland. How many touches on the ball Haaland did get? It was like he's isolated. So there's so many pieces, and I guess 8 more days, 7 more days, even transfer market. They have to go out there and they have to shore up their back line and their midfield.
And well, Rodri is coming back, and to be fair to Rodri, Man City did look at different unit when Rodri came on the field. To be fair to them. But also to be fair to Tottenham, I think the most impressive thing about that game was the actual second half, when they just basically just nullified Man City for the whole second. I think that is the most impressive part of the game, because we knew Pep Guardiola is going to make an adjustment. We knew he had the dogs and the guns on the bench that he can send out and run them out, and Tottenham were unfazed. And Tottenham could have even scored more goals if they wanted to. That's the vibe I got.
Did he? And I can't even say he couldn't underestimate them, because them whooping out last season. So I don't know, was it that he underestimated the opponent? It's just like last time I was watching DC United and Inter Miami, and everybody good up on the bench. Everybody good on the bench, and I'm like, you're underestimating your opponent, and that's why them go down 1-0 early in the game.
I think it's more. Not knowing what you're going to get from Thomas Frank. I think that's what caught Pep off guard, and the approach of the game.
Film. And Yaya Toure, brother in the background, him watch film too. He was more vocal than Pep.
Yeah, but I think Pep was caught off guard, and the thing that struck me the most was Tottenham wasn't backing down. Tottenham was pressing City. City was pressing Tottenham, and the midfielders were chasing shadows. City's midfielders, while Tottenham's midfielder. Yeah, go ahead.
I think he made his subs too late, because I know Foden coming back from an injury. I think that Foden sub was a little bit too late, because once he came on him and Rodri, the game kind of got a little bit better in the Man City's column.
I don't think the subs were made too late. I think he should have never put on Doku. And I like Doku. But I think Rodri and Foden playing with Marmoush would be more effective than playing with Doku. And I think that's where they lost the balance in their team. And Doku did get his chances but couldn't deliver. And I think that's a problem for them.
I am not impressed by Doc. I've never been. I really have not been. I mean, yes, some people are impressed by power and pace, but sometimes you need a technical player, and I really don't think he's that.
Yeah. BM says bug of the week, Manchester United. Oh, Michelle says Benton, please get a Liverpool jersey. Like Michelle, I try sort out the salting for Liverpool.
Should I say Arsenal?
No, Arsenal, that injury bug thing, I think that injury bug that's circling Arsenal, we don't really talk about it much, but I think they had 3 injuries that game. So even though Saka injury is not that bad, there is something to keep an eye on. Fabi Father says the Saka injuries are signed. That's what happened before he went on a lengthy injury. That's true. Mr. Stewart said, you're right. Watch my big team tomorrow. Benton said he did his 10,000 steps. People, BC and walking challenge, Everyone do 10,000 steps a day. Me talk to him about it tomorrow. Michelle says Arteta has gotten conservative last 2 years. So last year, been too defensive minded, which is true. Fabio Fernandes says, I'm not. Thomas Frank will put his stamp on his team, especially if he gets the signing he wants, which is a big statement because we know leaving mean with the money. Fabio says, Michelle, if he doesn't deliver silverware this year, the pressure will be immense. Talking about Arteta. Mr. Stewart says, yeah, I agree. Tottenham will be a problem this year. Frank better than Arteta. That's a strong statement.
Whoa.
Michelle says Arteta has gotten conservative the last 2 years, a bit too defensive minded. Fabi says Tottenham run of games is winnable. They have Bournemouth, West Ham, and Wolves. That's true. Mr. Stewart says, Calbit, what it is? Pep was out-coached by Frank. Okay. Fabi says Thomas Frank call Klopp and ask him how to beat the two Peps. Michelle says Spurs came 17th, so maybe. I'm going to caution everybody on the Thomas Frank love train. It's early days. We saw this last year with Chelsea with Maresca. And Maresca had a great start, and then the bottom fell out. What I think Thomas Frank has to his saving grace is you still have a James Maddison that he has to incorporate. That's a good piece that has to come back. Bissouma hasn't really gotten going under Thomas Frank. So he still has the pieces there that even if run of form kind of come off a little bit, he has players that can step in and do a job, right? But this is the Premier League. You're going to have that one game that things don't work out, and that's when a coach has to coach. So hold off on it a little bit. Tottenham fans feel good, only up on top, but hold off a little bit. Any other takeaway? I mean, Man U draw 1-1. I don't know if you want to talk about the money, because Man U is just on like a waste side now.
But I need to figure out at what point you guys are going to realize that Bruno is not a captain. It's not a leader. It's ridiculous at this point. At this point, it's ridiculous. He's going to say that because the referee accidentally bumped into him, it threw him off. Dude, you are a professional player. Like, people bump into you. I just don't get it. And then you're going to sky. Like, you don't take this thing serious. He's on his way out.
I think I'm hoping Bruno, because he was affected today, and the post-match conference from Amorim, he kind of hinted towards Bruno being not there mentally, but what he said was there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of weight that comes with the captain armband, and Bruno is playing with a lot of things around him that he has to take care of, which translates to he cannot handle what's going on. I'm hoping that is translation that Man U, because we heard that Al Hilal did put in another bid yesterday for Bruno. I think it's like 90-something million, up to 100 million. And this is not going to be installments. This is upfront money, right? So Man U reportedly is telling Bruno a second time over the last 3 months, it's up to you. You make the decision. We're not going to force you out, but you make the decision. Which is telling him, like, brother, we're going to thank you. We're now push you out, but we're ready for go another direction. With that being said, Ruben have a problem, and I don't think Ruben Amorim is going to survive till Christmas. I am a Manchester United fan. I'm going to say this. I don't think he's going to survive till Christmas if he doesn't break this dedication to the Portuguese players. Dallas should have never came on the field, and he's the one that gave up the goal. Bruno playing in the midfield and playing 90 minutes when Mason Mount was doing better than him the whole game. You should have taken off Bruno instead of Mason Mount. If you're going to put Mason Mount in the midfield beside Bruno, I mean, the two of them play midfield and you realize it's not working, take off Bruno and put on Ugarte. So there's a lot of problems going on there. I think Man U is going in the right direction, but hats off to Fulham. They came back. Marco Silva came back, found a way to draw the game. It's going to get better for Man U, but Ruben Amorim have to break this dedication to the Portuguese players. He's not going to survive till Christmas. Fabi says, will they sell Bruno and go for Belieber so they can start Sesko and use Cunha as a 10? No, Belieber is not leaving until next year. But yes, they will go for a midfielder. Mr. Stewart says, I was just looking at one game, not the whole season. No one said Pep was not a good coach, but for this game, Frank was better. Facts. Yeah. Michelle says, sell Bruno and use money to shore up midfield. 100%. Fabi says, no junior, no early days. Frank is as proven with a lesser team and budget that he can really coach. Fabi, the same thing was said about Eddie Howe. And he has failed at Newcastle. And he might get his penny pop tomorrow. So hold off on that. It is easy to be the hunter, but it's hard to be the hunted. And now I think Tottenham, everybody looking at Tottenham now are saying, that's a serious side. That's not a 17th place Premier League team. That's not a team that's fighting relegation. We have to take them serious. And I think we're going to see how that go. But come on, any other takeaway from EPL before we move on to Yawd Ballas?
Aston Villa need to go back for Bailey because at this point, what are they even doing? Matty Cash is not even effective. Ollie Watkins is not effective. I mean, the players, some of them they're not effective. I mean, like Aston Villa needs some help. Unai Emery is in a spot of bother. Nottingham Forest for me, if I mean like the coach may leave. I saw an article that says Jose Moreno is in prime position, is touted to be the next coach for Nottingham Forest. So I don't see what Nuno do bad. I mean, I thought he was a good coach. He did what he's supposed to do with Nottingham Forest did spend a lot of money. I think they spent the most money last season in the English Premier League, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe there's a sense of disappointment, but Nottingham Forest is a mid-table team at best. So it's just interesting to see what is going on at Nottingham Forest. But that's pretty much it. Aston Villa said, they drop right off. They have to go out there and they have to get some players because 2 games in and it was just rubbish.
Yeah, I agree. And the thing I said Wednesday, because we don't have a halftime show on Wednesday night, people, look out, we'll be back on this Wednesday night at 8:30 for halftime show. But Wednesday I said that Unai Emery, in my opinion, because people were asking, why is Unai Emery getting rid of all his good players, his players them, and why it seemed like Unai Emery is torpedoing his own team? And I think we are suffering from looking at this team from one perspective while Unai Emery is looking from the other perspective. Unai Emery is looking from the top of the table and saying, I want to be at the top of the table. I am not satisfied with just almost making it to the Champions League. I'm not satisfied with getting a celebration trophy for pushing PSG to the limit, but we get kicked out of the Champions League and we don't make it to the Champions League. I'm not satisfied with that. These set of players are not good enough and I need to change them. And I think that's what Unai Emery is doing. The problem is Aston Villa is not the prime destination that you're going to go out and attract players so you can get rid of players and attract a replacement, better replacement even quicker. We talk about, what the ball name, Bolisi? We talk about him, a striker that fit the field, the youth have failed the medical. He can end up at Villa. And he will fit at Villa tomorrow. So we'll see a lot of things to come over the next 8 days, but with the transfer market. But watch Villa. I think Villa is going to be very active over the next 8 days. And we just have to watch it right and see. Come on, Yawd Ballas. You know what? JPL. Now, let me pull up. I don't have the scores right now, but the games that we're playing today is Treasure Beach will play in Spanish Town Police. Mount Pleasant plays Montego Bay United. Chapelton Maroons, and we're going to talk about Chapelton Maroons first. Going to play Tivoli. Moulins playing Waterhouse. Cavalier playing Harbourview. And the in the prime time game today, and then tomorrow Dunfermline playing Portmore United and Racing playing Ardigans. Look, I love Clarendon. Clarendon people are my people, so I don't want to start no problem with the Clarendon people them. But come on, Chapelton Maroons, aka Phoenix 2.0. What the hell?
What do you mean Didn't you hear the president say that the club is entrenched in history and they want to be a part of history? The Maroons were people who saved people and they want to be a part of history. After them relegate Veer Phoenix, them come now. The people them said Chapelton are the next one for go down, but he wanted to invest in a club. That's the club that was willing to sell.
So big up to Craig Butler. As we know, Craig Butler, the Phoenix group uh, gave a heartfelt goodbye to Veer and did a big unveiling with Chapelton Maroons, and they invested and bought Chapelton Maroons. So come on. The question that I think needs to be asked, as we are now in Yawd Ballas, and salute Craig. I'm going to talk to Craig anytime I get the opportunity. So I'm not looking at hype. And this is a legit question I'm going to ask you. And it's a legit question I will ask him the next time I talk to him. You spent all these years trying to get into the Jamaica Premier League and couldn't get in the Jamaican Premier League. And then in the space of 12 months, you get 2 teams? What changed? And I don't know if you're privy to that information, but doesn't that question...
But they don't own 2 teams now.
They
They
could
sold Veer.
they
They don't
could
own
still...
Veer.
No, but
No.
Craig Butler was frozen out of the Premier League for
Yeah.
years. And then in the space of 12 months, he was able to get 2 teams back to back.
But it's the teams who were willing to sell. Because remember, it's a business and it's really not profitable. If you're not the Mount Pleasant and the Cavaliers, it's not profitable. Even Arnett not really turning over a profit. Um, but if you realize when Craig went in with the Veer Phoenix thing, he wanted to be the direct competitor to Speed
Right,
and
Cavalier.
Cavalier. So
Right.
he wanted to go in because he did that with Mona, that won the schoolboy football. So he thought it would translate. So he was really showing, him having money, he can do whatever he want to do, but he wanted to show up Speed. He wanted to bring those players that who won schoolboy football because these Phoenix players are the best players in the world. And he wanted to bring them in and he wanted to show Speed that he could win the Premier League. It didn't work out. But he lost football. Craig Butler is a lover of football. We might not like his brashness, but he loves football. And there was a club that was willing to sell, so he bought the club. He's no longer affiliated, as I heard, with Veer Phoenix, and no, with Whitney Phoenix, Chapelton, or Chapelton Phoenix, one of them.
Yeah.
He is
And
now affiliated to that. So hopefully he does not relegate Chapelton. Hopefully they stay in the league or maybe even win the Premier League.
and for me, and well, yes, so hopefully win the Premier League. You know what? Let's go right there. So then, looking at the JPL, and it kicked off today as it looks like
We can't find
Treasure
my line's
Beach.
under one. We can't find the stats them.
Yeah, but
Jamaica
Treasure
Premier League and
Beach.
the man them website that get by my last nerve.
Well, I'm on it right now. Treasure Beach basically defeated Spanish Town Police 2-0. Right now
Mhm.
is 10 minutes of stoppage time. I mean, in the 99th minute. Mullines is under 1-0 from Waterhouse in the 58th minute. And that's what I'm seeing right now. But let me see. Fabi
Now,
says
what about Montego Bay and Mount Pleasant? They played today.
they drew 2-2. So Mobay and Mount Pleasant
Wow.
drew 2-2. So
Okay.
kicked off, top of Whitmore, Mount Pleasant drew 2-2 with Mobay. I think that's a rivalry game. We know the
Yeah,
history of
it
Mobay.
is.
We know the history of Mount Pleasant. Is this Cavaliers what 4th in a row? As we kick out the JPL.
Cover. Yeah, I mean, listen. Man, no. Mount Pleasant, as I keep saying that Mount Pleasant is Man City 2.0, but Cavalier, they go about the business and get it done.
Yes, yes, yes. Who this to? Wait. What is it? And Chapelton Maroons is leading Tivoli 2-1 in the 90th minute.
Wow.
Craig Butler and Chapelton Maroons is about to start the season with a win, and they were up 2-0 at the half. So you said earlier maybe Chapelton can win the JPL. You can't have JPL without controversy though, and we have to talk about this coaching license thing. Come on, go ahead. Make
Oh, hold on there. Who this? Oh, Chapter Maroons. The game done, man. 2-1. Hold on. Mullines under one Waterhouse. Who's this? Treasure Beach. Okay, 99 minutes.
I might tell you, they might play 10 minutes of stoppage time.
Merciful friend. Okay, so listen. It is just it is crazy, and I think it is a little bit petty. Bradley Stewart is the Bradley Stewart. It mean like he is nobody in Jamaica know more than Bradley Stewart, and I don't think anybody in Jamaica do more for football than Bradley Stewart. Bradley Stewart helped for write the curriculum that they're using now. He knows football inside out. That being said, he has not coached in the Premier League for a long time. He has been overseas doing his thing. So he has been active. So it's not like he has not been an active coach. He has all the requirements, big requirements, but some things have changed. The JFF is saying that he needs his license to work, be the coach or be on the bench for police. Based on Speed's interview in the newspaper, Speed says that they have asked him to send in the documentations to assess it to see if it is equivalent. He's saying that he already spoke to them and they talked about it and they were going to figure it out. At this point, I think Bradley Stewart should be afforded, a little bit of leeway. If his qualifications is higher than what is required, if he has been actively coaching at a high level, then you should come to an understanding. If they won't do that and Bradley wants to be the coach for the team, go ahead and do the course. Get your license, get it done. So you want Speed and JFF now to go back and forth. But I just think that it's a little bit of pettiness on both sides, and I think they can come to an understanding. But it's their system, and if they're saying that Bradley needs this and Bradley don't have it, Bradley just need to go and get it. But I just think that if you have it's like having Jose Moreno, right, out there, big coach, and coaching him know everything is bigger than every coach in Jamaica, and him come on Jamaica Premier League and Speed that tell him say he needs to get certified with a certain license. So I think there should be some compromise. But if Bradley wants to come and play by the rules that Speed and the technical committee setting, then he should just go ahead and get the license.
And wasn't this the same gripe that happened last year with Lenny Hyde?
Yeah, Lenny Hyde never do it.
Right.
Lenny Hyde never did. But in when it comes to Bradley Stewart helped to put together the exams, everything we have now, what they're using now, what they're doing. Bradley Stewart helped to put that. So he knows what is going on. He is Bradley Stewart are one of the biggest things that we really have in Jamaica. So I just think that a little bit of leeway can be afforded, but if not, then they just need to come to a compromise. Allow him to do it until even assistant beyond the bench until he gets it done, or figure out, because he said his club asked him for it. Bradley said his club asked him for the documents, right? In same game club. Based on what Speed said in the article, the JFF and Speed, they have not received the documents. So Speed is saying the ball is in your court now. Send us the documents so we can see if it is equivalent to what we're asking for. But them not get it. So Bradley on the outside looking in.
So tell me if this is asking too much. Cause maybe I'm asking too much. As Fabi says, Bradley Stewart is a big coach. He said that Bradley was coaching when he was at Wolbers. This man can coach, and trust me, Bradley Stewart is a national treasure. I think You said it was pettiness, you think, and which I agree, but I think there's a bigger underlying problem. This is an opportunity to fix up your administration. It's an opportunity to fix up your communication. And you come on with go through it with your sister, with your team down in Jamaica, with the Jamaica Women's Premier League, are going through the league. That lack of communication and not being transparent, lack of transparency. We saw this with Lenny Hyde last year. Anybody with common sense in them brain would make sure the communication goes out way before the season start. Make sure the coaches them have this. The teams them supposed to have the infrastructure in place where them have a set of rules that everybody knows ironclad and will make sure so we sort it out. And if we can't sort it out in a timely manner, we talk to the administration under the quiet. Why is this being played out in the public? And is it that there's some frustration that causes it to go out in the public? Or is it that this is their preferred way of doing things? That's a rhetorical question because I know, and let me tell people last week, we could have break news if we really wanted to be a show. We can break news, right? And we're not going to break news. But they're going to break this news. We know you fight with JFF and the Women's League. And we know the frustration you got through with them. We know when the punishment came down and it came through the media, they make it look like it's yesterday. You and them talk. When we know you and them talking for months before it hit the media. So is it that Bradley Stewart and the administration has been talking for months and somebody along the way just say, yo, me a bad man, me go bad this up. And them say, you know what, we can't do anything more now. We just have to go to the media with this. Is that like the youth in your experience? Could this be a little bit of it?
It can be a little bit of that, and again, it can also be miscommunication because he could be talking to one person and that person is not relaying the information. Because if he is saying that his club, so basically, someone was talking to his club, right? Mm-hmm. The club asked him for the documentation. He gave the club the documentation, but yet Speed in the media saying that as of today or whenever, as of the day of the interview, he does not think that anything went into the office for. So it's like it's miscommunication, and they do it. I think they do it on purpose to confuse you and frustrate you. And I can say that as someone who have to deal with them. Them have a competitions department. I mean, not even call him name because I don't know how on earth him have him job so long. They are a hot mess. I'm not going to say they don't know what they're doing, but they just love to wallow in confusion. We, the public, not have to know all of this. They could have worked it out. They could have figured it because the club was promoted from last season. They knew about this. So the club and the JFF could have had a conversation or could have worked it out. We never have to know about this. It is frustrating because you have this, as I said, national treasure out here, and you are telling him that you are not good enough, and then he want to fight the system where him help create, basically, right? And they're going to say, okay, then if we do it for you, we have to do it for somebody else. So if Bradley wants to coach, he has to follow the rules set by Speed and the people, right? But at the same time, we never often know all of this. But as I said, the JFF love confusion.
Well, speaking of confusion and JFF and Jamaica in general, I will switch to schoolboy football real quick. 3 teams withdrew from the DaCosta Cup. Issa changed some of the groups and placed hefty fines on the teams that withdrew. Come on. What you have to say about that? Do you have a comment?
I don't agree. Listen, I don't agree with this hefty fine for schoolboy football. Listen, my school, my alma mater, I mean, like, we have to be scrimping and scraping money. There's no money. We not no money. The boys, them not no shoes, them not no jersey. We don't get 1 and 2 shirts from Issa, but we need the other things. So maybe the school, I know there's always a time limit, but maybe the school just can't afford it. So a school who can't, is either you can't afford it or you don't get enough players. Maybe they were recruiting, because I've seen it. You get promise from a student that I'm going to come, and at the last minute, the parent changed their mind because them not focused enough, or a next Tapanari school come in and scoop them up. So you are sitting there waiting that you're getting 3 players from JC to come St. Mary Tech, and then when it come to the nitty gritty and crunch time, them say, okay, no, Woolmers want us. So we are left with we don't have enough players. So I get it, things happen, and for you to put a hefty fine on a struggling team, Issa is not wanting for money. Issa have money. To me, Issa is one of the most well-run organization in Jamaica. I think they run better than the Jamaica Premier League. Issa's thing is huge. So I don't agree. And there can be, just like with us, when we decided that we wanted to withdraw because the Jamaica Women's Premier League did not pay us our money that they owed us, and we just could not find the money to enter the new season. And when we told them that they levied $100,000 fine against us, remember, we're broke and hungry. You owe us our money. We withdraw because we couldn't even find 100,000, and they know you are imposing that. Oh, is that fair? I don't agree with that. There's so many little things. The coach probably have the teams. Pre-season realize they're not good enough. They're not disciplined enough. Their grades are not good enough. But you see, Issa's focus is usually on the football portion of it, while schools are really focusing on the overall person. So I mean, I agree with them finding them, but it is what it is.
I will go watch that closely because I have a funny feeling that those hefty fines are going to be reduced or even removed. BM, they make a comment there, big up BM. BM, they make a comment earlier saying Emery doesn't rate Bailey, And as we transition to the last part of the show, we'll soon take ourselves. Jamaicans making move abroad. Bailey was unveiled by Roma last week, or this week. We talked about it a little bit last week. But you said a reference earlier that Villa should have kept Bailey.
Yeah.
How you feel? Yeah, so
watch two games from Villa, but I mean, what you see? Who got rid of him? Who then bring in? What did they do? At least, and that's the thing too. I saw an interview from United that says Bailey's season that he had was good, and he got the extension, but he couldn't replicate that. That's okay. Footballers have bad seasons, have off seasons, and whatever when they're not doing well. How do you know that this wouldn't have been Bailey's breakthrough season, right? And as we said, maybe they're bringing in other players, but when you watch Aston Villa's 2 games, Bailey's speed down the flank was missing.
Yeah.
So me just don't understand. I just don't get that. But yeah, whatever. If him not rate him not go somewhere else and grow. But it's crazy because Bailey now is injured. 3 to 4 weeks. Them say, Bailey, if you're watching this, ease off a ramen noodle, sir. Find a little girl who can cook some good Jamaican food. Ramen noodle is not it. Bailey is injured for 3 to 4 weeks, muscle injury.
Why
and it's crazy because Villa fans saying no, don't take boxes, no refund. So that is crazy. Andre Blake is reportedly injured as well. He'll be out for a couple weeks, which is concerning because we have World Cup qualification coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is concerning. The news out there that says Damion Lowe is in Iraq, that's not true. Damion is not in Iraq. His ITC and player pass is still with the Federation in Saudi Arabia, and his agent is saying when he has news, he will give it to the public, but he is not there. But we could go back to Mount Pleasant being Manchester City 2.0. In the summer, they acquired Warner Brown, Romain Blake, Ronaldo Biggs, Demar Phillips, Lamar Walker, and Kemar Foster. Now tell me, where on earth him going to play all of these players?
Well, we didn't get the money for pay them before them play. How am I pay them?
But all a second, you're talking about Man City 2.0. Now them just buy one club over Belgium.
Yeah.
Belgium or Italy? Belgium.
There is no feeder program for a team in Belgium.
They have money. Their marketing strategy is good. They see them have jerseys online, everything, dresses, everything. They are one of the most well-run clubs. So them have them money. We pushed up against the clock. I have to say that the JFF U14 girls lost 2-0 to Puerto Rico in the CFU Challenge Series, so they're out. Mixed results for Cavalier and Mount Pleasant in the Caribbean Cup. Mount Pleasant won versus Robin Hood 1-0. So Benton's favorite striker, Sue McCullough, and Cavalier lost 2-0.
Boy, and like BM says, the more things change, the more things stay the same. I was talking about Man U, but there's more things stay. I more stay for football in Jamaica as well. Come on. That's for the show, You don't know. Great show again. Benton, Ghana Boogie Yaga music. Whole world, on.
I'll pray for him.
Yeah, but come on, we don't know, Your team is doing well. We'll pray for your team as well, and hopefully Cole Palmer does well.
You need prayer. As a matter of fact, you need a wash off. You need to go to the river and get a wash off. See the fan behind you?
You find a white monkey.
You need a wash off.
You can connect with us at BallChat Podcast on Instagram, on Facebook at BallChat. You can email us at ballchatpodcast@gmail.com. The full episode will be available online. Well, the technical difficulties earlier, but I just saw my internet stay. But you don't know, people, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Link up again next week. Big up on yourself.